gosh, can I still do this? Oh no. Well, I hope I can. Let's make sure everything's running right. All right. Three, two. Oh my God. Let's do that right now. Excuse me. Oh no. You're looking at something else. Hold on. It's good that we started like that. Hold on. Why did camera go to the side? Oh, bad camera. Oh my goodness. Hold on. That's hilarious. Oh, that is freaking hilarious. Hold on. There you go. Oh my goodness. Anyway. Let's see. 3, 2. Oop. 3, 2. Welcome to the world's famous. I don't know if billions still watch this, but we're back. I know it's been a long time. I understand. It's been a while. But welcome to the world's famous, what I say before, billions watched here on YouTube. We're also available on many other places as well. On Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts as well. So if you still want to look at my catalog, what is this white thing in my head? Oh my goodness. Okay, it's gone. We're back. I know it's been a long time. Last time I did an update, it was the one that was based on fear. That was almost 2 months ago. So let me explain. I'm gonna try to explain what happened, but I think it's just like, I'll get to that point. But I think it's more important to me just to come on here. It's been a while, and just to get my bearings back. I don't expect this is not going to be a 2-hour podcast, so this is probably be a quick. Maybe we'll get to an hour. I don't know, but I think for the most part, just get our bearings right, because I felt like this is a long time coming, and even people around were just like, "What happened to your podcast? What's going on with it? Like, where have you been?" And mind you, what is it? It is July 13th, right? It's July 13th, and it took me almost 2 months. If you look at the last update that we did on my YouTube, here on YouTube, it was back in May when we talked about fear. I'll be honest. It was one of the things where just like, I think stuff started getting a little bit complicated, you know what I mean? So, as you know, and the people who've been hanging out with me and vibing me on here on my podcast, I think we're now at 50 plus strong. If you look at my full catalog, you look at everything that was on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, that's where all my meat and potatoes of where I came from, how I started when I was back on TikTok, and we eventually came on here. We're at 51 episodes. And then what ended up happening, we stopped. And it was one of the things where I feel like in the beginning of this, like I made it to a point where it's just like, okay, what I will do is just at least do edits in the beginning and do edits in the end, and then just post it. And then this is where it happens, essentially, where people were like, start thinking too much. Let's be honest, start thinking too much. Oh, I want to worry about my quality. I worry about the quality here on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and this and this and that. And on YouTube, like, I have to make this sound good and have two different versions of the podcast, the recorded version and then the official one. It was doable. I mean, when I actually went down to that wormhole, or to the wormhole of like, okay, let's actually edit our videos and try to get the best version out there. Yeah, it's great to have the best version, but mind you, I'm a one-man team here on TikTok. Not on TikTok, I'm sorry. Here on YouTube and distribute on TikTok and all the places. Like, we came from TikTok. That's why sometimes it's so natural in me where I just say TikTok, but we're here on YouTube. But like, I think this is where things got lost, where it's just like, it get to a point where it's just like, okay, we do these 2.5 hour podcasts, and then it's only me, by the way, it's only me doing these doing these editing and anything in a relative in the sense of this podcast, the authentic podcast. I'm doing all the editing. So the editing of a 2-hour podcast, and this is just me. This is basic, maybe, I don't know if I can consider myself intermediate skills in CapCut, but just me doing the edits of just taking out the stuff where it's just like, okay, worrying too much of what people would think or say of how I convey a message, if you know what I mean. So like, I would worry too much of like, oh, when I say this, like stuff where I feel like will get lost. So that's where I went to the rabbit hole. That's what I was gonna say, not the wormhole, but the rabbit hole, where let's go through the edits. Let's go through all this stuff to make sure that our podcast is going to sound good. And mind you, I tell you, it took me a 2.5-hour podcast. It will take me 1 week to edit it. And this is edits, by the way. If you ever follow me over on TikTok, same handle as here on YouTube. It's at Joe Lobo Presents. I would actually go live on TikTok and show these edits. So there's times where I would do maybe 10 minutes worth of editing, and it'll take me 8 hours to edit. And imagine doing that every single day, where you're making it a priority, where it's just like, okay, I need to get this out. I need to get this out. I need to get this out. And it's already happened to me once where basically I went through almost a week worth of edits, and when it came to the final one and found out how fucked up the final version was, to the point where you're just like, you wasted all your time, and then you have to go back and do the same edit again because you had to literally start from fresh. That's happened, and that sucks. So think about how long it would take you to edit a file, which is an hour, and then now what would take you 1 week to do is now taking 2 weeks to do. So I went through that shit. So anyway, doing these edits every day, where it's just like, okay, 2-hour edits of this file, and it's gonna take me 1 week to edit. And yeah, mind you, I let's be honest, I am a asshole when it comes to quality. I want to make sure my stuff looks the best and available to you all, so that you understand that, okay, this is what Joe Lobo is talking about. Because like, I don't want to lose an audience where they have no freaking clue what I'm talking about, right? So this is why I actually took heart into my stuff and just like, okay, made sure that, okay, let's just do this effort. But this is where it happened to get worse, where, it came to the point where like we finished these podcasts and I'm like, fuck, I have to now edit this podcast for another week. And then also too, like, you have life events as well, right? So like, yeah, life responsibilities, life's events. So like, something will normally take a week to do is now taking you 2 weeks to do, 3 weeks to do. It's just like, fuck. And then it just got even harder and harder and harder. And now I take a look back from, when I was mentioning, okay, the last time we did the podcast, it was back in May, and now it's July and we're here. Why did it take me too long? And I think it was because I was burnt out. Is the expectation of fear is just like, fuck. And it's funny because the last podcast was talking about fear and how to overcome it. And then sometimes it's just like, yes, I always speak the truth to you all, but sometimes like it comes sometimes for me where like I need to listen to my damn old advice. And that's me being a human, right? Like, yes, I'm not perfect. Let's be honest, I am not perfect whatsoever. I am just like you. I think I say the things I say because maybe there's an individual that's similar to me who's gone through the same stuff. And maybe you can learn something from me, or you can find new ideas that inspire you. Think a different direction. Because at the end of the day, regardless of how long this will take me to do, I mean, I'm thinking about how we're going to take care of this now, but I mean, like, regardless how long it takes me to do or how frequent I do this, the content of this is still important. It's not about me, it's about you. What do you take from this? I mean, yes, if I really didn't give a shit about my content and I want to go for something viral or do something that, will garner attention, yeah, I'll do all that shit. I will do the stuff that will get me views. But no, like, my thing is, and it's always been with this podcast, it's always been, I want people to find this. I want people who got through the same situation that I've been through. I want people to find out, like, okay, maybe they come across my videos or come across my podcast where it's just something where, shit, they just had the worst moment of their life happened and they're looking for answers on YouTube. And then some way, somehow they come across my videos and they're just like, wow. They get that breath of fresh air, that relaxation. Maybe whatever, teach is on what you believe in, right? You can believe in God, you can believe in, and then I'm not going to dwell too much on this. If you believe in God or you're spiritual, you believe in the universe, but like it's whatever you believe in. Maybe this is a sign from them for you to see it. Because I always believe, there are reasons why things in your life happen. Whether you experience something as maybe it's negative or positive, or you meet somebody out of the blue. There's always a reason, in my opinion, and teach his own what you believe in. Like, I always believe there's a reason why things occur, and they do. There is a reason why things occur. It could be whatever believing force you have. Maybe they're saying this is a person you need to meet that's on your journey or a similar journey as you. And maybe you can grab something. And I'm not going to say, and I'll be 100% with you, I've met this point in my life where I realize and understand that, friends, for example, will come and go. It's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate in the sense where, like, the friends you probably have known from is 25 years and whatnot. If for example, your pace has changed or your personality has changed or what your belief set has changed, and it's totally different to what those people of 25 years believe in now. More than likely, you're not going to be talking to him so frequent, or more than likely, you're probably going to lose a relationship because there's nothing to talk about. There's no more interest. I mean, I've said many times here on my podcast where it's just like, yeah, I had a close friend of mine for 20 plus years, and it was I think it was more because like I didn't show like myself to my friend. I was always supporting whatever he says. I was like, kind of a lapdog. Is that the right way to say it? I think a lapdog, where I didn't really care or give a shit about my own self. And I just like went along with his stuff. But when it came to a point of realizing of myself, realizing like, okay, well, my values are more important. This is what I believe in. And then you see the rift in the relationship where just like the person's realized, oh, he's not agreeing with me anymore. And then it comes to a point that they ignore you. I mean, it's life. And I hate to say it because I mean, most people like will grow out, like, most people will find this upsetting when I say it. We're just like, how can you say this, Joe, that where people of like 25 years or 30 years will befriend you, or people I meet will immediately, there's people that you meet and like, they're only know you for like a week and that's it. Because I mean, it's just I think honestly, it's just like the pace of where you're at and what type of value you're supposed to be getting out of that. So like, for me, I'm at a point in my life where it's just like, if I were to meet someone and then like they disappear within a month or so, I think it's because of like, I told you my beliefs that I believe in the law of attraction and manifestation. It's probably the universe saying, hey, there's something you need you to grab from this, and it ain't gonna be that long. It's happened to me where it's just like, I meet people for a certain moment of time, and it comes to a point where like, you put, and I told you about my personality, 100 personality, where just like I go full, I'll go in, blah, 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 until I feel there's some toxicity and I'm gone. Or I feel that I don't find any value in a relationship and I'm gone. So for me, it's just like, I think I'm totally comfortable where it's just like, if someone were to leave my life, I'm not going to ask them to stay. It's funny because I had a conversation with someone recently where just like, I'm not going to have someone stay. And this is what we're talking about. We're like, I'm not going to force someone to stay. It's up to them to stay or go. I mean, it's part of life. But like, I always tell people, and I'll tell this person as well, which is like, even if you lose people, even regardless how long the term was, regardless how long you've been together with that individual, there's reasons why it ends. It ends because of the fact that there's nothing of value for you anymore for that. However, what's important to take away from that is this. Even after you lose that friendship of X amount of years, or maybe you just met someone and they just disappeared immediately. understand that there's always going to be a new person. There's always going to be another person that you meet. There's always going to be someone that maybe, just maybe, is going to be at the same level you're at. So if you have a similar interest, or let's say, for example, like me, like that's something we'll share about it. I think the last time we talked, like I was in maybe a month or two in and working out, and now we're still going full at it. We're still full going. I think you'll probably see the difference of like what I look like as in physical features is a little bit smaller now, a little more fit. I can do more burpees. but like seriously though, like you're always gonna meet people, like depending on where you're at in your life and circumstance, like it happens, and you can evaluate yourself. Like you always find out the brand new friends that you meet, there is some certain sort of what have you, some sort of similarity that you'll share. So at this point in life, I think I'm attracting more people who are caring about their health or caring about their fitness. Maybe also to tie in the similar, like, you know, similar belief set that I have, like as in spirituality with law of attractions. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm into crystals now. so as you can see, this is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a grounding crystal or stone, and it also protects me from, this is what I believe in, teach his own, okay, teach his own. This protects me from negativity. So that's why I wear it. So it's not just the double chains now. It's this plus black tourmaline on my chest. And I wear it all the time. And I have an actually bigger one. Things have changed. But I think to close this book, what I'm talking about is like, you know, you're always gonna find people who are up leveled at whatever situation you're at. Meaning, like, you know, if you are now a fitness enthusiast and you care about your health, more than likely you're gonna meet someone who has the similar stuff. Now, this is just my opinion, right? It'll just be weird to me that if you meet people that don't have anything in similar to you. But if you do run into those folks, you'll see how long the relationships last. Where if you have nothing in common to talk about, why would you want to keep why would you keep on talking to that person? Think about that. Why would you want to keep and waste your time with an individual you meet and there is nothing you have in common? Zero in common. As much as you try to attempt to peel the onion per se, right? Like, why would you waste your fucking time? There has to be some sort of, affinity or similarity that you both share with that individual. It's just like with the people, like, you know, the people, as you know, I talk to her about a lot. And one of my friends from TikTok, Moisa girl. It's not just about her relationship that I built with her, but also it's the people around it. Like the other fellow, as you know, I'm a moderator to Moisa girl, the ghost hunter on TikTok. That has a lot of people that follow her, and she's here. Actually, she did a live here on YouTube. I'm grateful to meet her, but however, what's important is the people I met around her. Like finding out that holy shit, we all have the similar affinity. We have similarities to each other. We all believe the same way. We have the same experiences. We do the same certain things that we both like. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, my interest now in crystals, right? So I have a shit ton of crystals, not shit ton, but I have a good amount of crystals that's on my desk there are different properties for that. So within that same friend set, there's a person that's, you know, she's been doing it longer for me, and she has it all through her house. And I found out not only that she does yoga, but she also does, she's also practiced Reiki. You know what Reiki is? Reiki is those individuals who focus on energy and how to push it towards some individuals. And then also too, meaning another individual has a similar interest in buying crystals as well. These are all the same people where I met from Moisa girl. And it's amazing that just like, you know, it's not just about meeting Moisa girl, becoming her friend, but it's just like meeting the other people around her and finding out and realizing, holy shit, we all have similarities. Maybe we get along because of this. And this is where it gets very interesting when you meet people. And this is where I talk about going back again. This is where I talk about you're always going to find people who are going to be at the same level, more or less, of where you're at. because it'll be boring as shit. And yeah, you'll probably get those people who are boring as shit, or just like, why the fuck am I talking to you? Like, you're not even caring about what I care about. Like, why waste my time? And that's where I am right now in my life, where it's just like, I'm not gonna waste my time with people where we have nothing to talk about. Like, if I remember this one conversation and like I had about where, you know, I'm heavy on astrology, right? I'm heavy on numerology. Like, explaining to someone about my astrology, and they're like, you believe in that shit? Oh my God, I can't believe you believe in that shit. And you know what I did? I just turned it off. And I was just like, all right, peace out. See you later. And then there's those other individuals where like they talk about the law of attraction, manifestation. And then like, man, we just go for hours in talking about stuff. And then even those conversations where just like, you're getting to know an individual. And it's just like there's, you know, there's a genuine interest because you're still talking whatever communication device you're using. You're still talking on the phone. So there's interest, right? As a friend, whatever layer it is. But like, you know, I always tell people here in my podcast, like, as in relationships, I'm not the person that jump into the relationship like immediately. No way, no how. Like, I will not jump into a relationship immediately. I'm not going to chase and do all that shit. We all build our base as friends. I really feel that the best relationships, if anything, bar none, will come from friendship. None of that bullshit, and I don't believe in any of that bullshit you see on social media about friend zoning, man. That's some bullshit. Why the fuck do you want to waste your time in chasing people? Seriously, why the fuck do you want to waste your time? That's just my view. Again, to each his own. You can believe in what you want to believe, but 100% for me, and if it's just a base of just learning someone and just becoming the friend, I'm perfectly fine just becoming just a friend. If nothing comes out of it, and obviously I'm talking about a female, right? If nothing comes out of it and you're just friends, that's shit. That's great. And I always view it as just like, shit, anything above that, like, okay, beyond the friendship, okay, let's say you build a relationship or whatnot, then that's just bonus points. At least you had the opportunity to learn someone and get to know who they are, get to know what makes them happy, what makes them sad. Why do they do the certain things they do, you know? And I think, again, it's based upon why I think like this is based upon my past, right? I don't want to get fucking hurt. I don't want, and I've been always transparent here in my podcast. I don't want to get fucking hurt. Like, I don't want to deal with the stuff I had to deal with when I was younger, where like I laid down to people and they just like, I lost my identity. And this is why I'm so stand pat at what I fucking believe in, where it's just like, you know, I'm not going to come and get with somebody where I have to change myself. No, you accept me for who I am or not. So that's why I always say it, just like, you know, if there is the next person, right? And some people are uncomfortable saying it, but I'll tell you straight up, if I never end up getting into another relationship ever in my life, I would say I'm perfectly fine. Because it just basically means that no one has hit those requirements ever. And for me, even though I go through, I'm just a human like you, right? Even though I go through the struggles of being a human, I can say with confidence, I'm perfectly fine with myself. I'm building myself. I do things for myself. I'm improving myself. That's why I work out. That's why I meditate. That's why I do the things. Like, I've came to a point that like the most important individual is me. So I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to be happy. And this is why I think sometimes for some relationships, you always see those movies like, oh my God, you complete me. Now we are one. Okay, great. Fuck. But like for me, no. Like, yes, I think for me, it's more of like, okay, if I do meet someone, like, one, I will never, ever force them to change who they are when I met them. Be you. Be authentic. Be a genuine. Because at the end of the day, I am being as genuine as I possibly can be to you. So I don't expect you to change your identity just to get along with me. And that's another thing too. It's just like, another thing too. Will I lower my standards when I meet a female? Fuck no. I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna keep on believing what I'm believing. Like, even if it's like a person who believes in a religion heavily, and they're like, no, Joe, I didn't think your stuff is wrong. You should believe in this way. I'm like, I'm okay. We're not interested. I'm not interested anymore. And the same thing too. I would never force an individual to say, hey, you better do this or we're never gonna be together. Like, and I mentioned that because of the fact that there's one example where we had a conversation where smoking was an issue. where the other individual was telling her like, you need to stop smoking or this is never going to work and you're gonna lose out on this. And she's telling me, just like, why does this fucking guy care? If he likes me, then he likes me because you like me for who I am. And here's the thing, right? For me, if I were to date, because I've smoked cigarettes for almost like 25, 30 years now. I'm 45. I understand how fucking hard it is. I understand like it's addiction. And not many people can stop smoking cigarettes cold. And I did that shit. That's fucking hard. But for me, as a female I meet that she smokes cigarettes and we're dating or we're having a relationship, like, I'm not gonna tell her and force her to say like, this is it. You stop smoking or else. Nah. However, I will encourage her and just say, maybe you should stop smoking. I see you want to try working out and it's good to have lungs, right? That's where it's just like, that's one of the things why I stopped smoking, because it's just like, shit, your workouts suck. You can't breathe. Like, I remember those times, like, I was fucking hard-headed as fuck. Like, well, I'll talk about this real quick. I was hard-headed as fuck when I was working, beginning my, like, actual taking serious for working out. Yeah, I was surprised I was still smoking cigarettes. And then I realized, I was like, oh, shit, I can't breathe. I can't run. And that's probably one of the excuses about, oh, fuck cardio. I didn't want to do cardio. Because you know why? Because your ass can't breathe. And that's why I don't smoke. That's one of the reasons I smoke. Well, the reason why I really didn't stop smoking is because it's one of the things where the doctor comes to you and says, hey, you need to change the way you I think you should stop smoking. So I just stopped. But again, I would never force, and that's what I was talking about the smoking thing. I'm not gonna force. If I date someone who's smoking, right? Yes, I can probably smell it. It's gonna stink, because like that's one thing I realized when you stop smoking. Like, you smell the shit, and just like, and then you have a realization. It's like, fuck, why did I smoke? I fucking stink. But what I'm trying to get at is just like, I don't want to force anyone. That's what you decided to get with. So regardless if they do stop in your relationship or they go in the hospital for that stuff, that you kind of signed up for it until you didn't. Until you yourself make the decision that I don't want to deal with this chick because she smokes. But again, what I'm trying to get to is just like, no, I will never force anyone to do that. I would never force anyone to believe in what I believe in. Even if like people I meet realize, oh, Joe believes in the law of attraction, he believes in gems and crystals, I think that's horseshit. Yeah, they can think all they want, but all I tell them is like, agree to disagree. I would never hate on your shit. I will never force you. So for that, I would never force like a female, like, oh, you need to do this or else. No, you grow into it. Like, you accept what they are, and I'm not going to ask them to change, but somehow they're probably going to change themselves when they realize, oh yeah, my boyfriend works out and he can breathe and he can do jogs. I actually want to join him, so maybe I should stop smoking. That's what naturally would happen, if you think what I mean. But unless they're not into that, and that's where I question, like, well, maybe for the individual, it's just like, okay, is that the right person for you? Again, people decide if they want to get with someone, and obviously that means that they have to deal with whatever comes out of it, the cause and effect of shit. So if they drink heavily or they smoke heavily, whatever is the outcome of it, and you're still with the person because you choose to be with the person, then shit, you're going to be with them when they go to the hospital, or you're going to be with them when there's a traumatic life event, if you still love them, of course, right? But anyway, like, that's where I'm just talking about, just like, that conversation about like relationship is just like, me, I wouldn't force anyone to do that. And just like, that's where it's really also important, where it's, everyone becomes a friend, regardless of how beautiful you are, or how intuitive you are, and how smart you are. Like, I need to know who you are first, because like, that's another thing too. Is just like, I also think about like here in the Philippines, like, I have a lot of stuff I have to handle and stuff, and the responsibilities that are coming. I don't want to get any more stress of shit, or I don't want to do any more toxicity where I have to worry about shit. Like, and this is where, like, for me, it's just like, I would prefer individuals and females as well who are independent. They know what the fuck they want to do, because I don't have to worry about them like that way. And do I want to worry about them that way? Whereas in, like, worry about them financially, like I have to take care of things. I want someone who's independent, knows like they're doing their own shit. The same expectation as me. We're just like, granted, like, we're building stuff here, and it's like, it's challenging, but like, at least they'll get the idea that he's doing something. versus laying on my ass doing nothing. No, I actually do something. So going back to, I think we got sidetracked a little bit. Going back to the reasoning. So you guys get to understand that the reason why I stopped. I think I just got fucking burnt out. I really got burnt out. We're just like doing these long podcasts and then the editing where it just got too much. And that's the thing where I think making something simple in the beginning of this journey, whenever we were in TikTok, when we were on TikTok where basically no one understood us English wise. I'll be honest, like I'm in the Philippines. Most of my audience is Tagalog. Do they understand what the heck I say? Be honest with you, probably not. And there's the comprehension, maybe they understand me, but the comprehension level is like maybe like what, I don't know, 40-50%. So going from that where I didn't give a shit like what I edited, I honestly maybe realized like a couple days ago, I was like, why am I going through all this work? Where it's about the message I'm putting out here and me always talking to you all about how authentic I am and genuine. I believe I am. Teach his own. If you don't think I'm authentic and I'm full of shit, then shh, that's you. But like, think about being genuine and like and authentic. Yes, it's important to be like, you know, try to do the best you meant, try to get the best version of yourself, but like also too as well, if we're losing the message of why are we doing this, like losing the message of like, okay, what was the importance of doing the podcast anyway? It's to share a message that, like I said at the beginning, this came from TikTok. It's not about me, it's about you. What are you gonna do with your life? Like, are you gonna keep on going through the same stuff every day and thinking about, man, I wish I could have done this, versus taking the risk and getting out of the comfort zone and be scared as shit? Like, shit, I'm scared as well what I'm doing right now. Are you gonna make that decision, or you just stay and do the regular stuff, the comfortable stuff? And that's always my message. And then just going back to, you know, to when I started this journey and then going to where we're at and we ended up having the break, it was just like, fuck, maybe I should go back to that and not worry too much about the edits. I shouldn't. I think even if for this one, like even if you still look at me on Spotify, still look at me on Apple Podcasts, yeah, it's great. I mean, if we get to a point where, okay, maybe we have time to edit, aka meaning like we have more resources to do shit, like to edit, okay, fine. But like if it's only me, I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. So that's what I'm going to do. I think what I'll do is rebuild this cadence again where we're going to go live every week and not worry so much about edits. And this is where like I get, you know, I have a lot of friends who come to me and just like, man, you overthink too much. I mean, that is one of the things of overthinking, where it's just like, oh man, I got to make this sure this is perfect. Because if I don't make this perfect, people are not going to understand what the fuck I'm saying. And then they're never going to watch this. So like that, for example, where it happened in a sense where we had to make this perfect. And the reality, and it's just like, yeah, you can make this as perfect as you want, but it's just like, it's the message that's important. And I also thought about it too. It's just like, okay, we did a podcast like on Monday, and then we're rehashing the same edit, a finalized edit that comes out 2 weeks. Like, okay, let's be honest here. Does that make any sense? 2 versions on my YouTube channel of the thing. One is edited and one's the raw and cut. Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's the message that's important. So regardless if someone really believes in your stuff, regardless of how many times you fucking stutter and say shit that's irrelevant, but your message is still intact, they're still gonna follow you at the end of the day. They're still gonna believe in the stuff that you believe in. So yes, as you can even see, like the journey of me conveying a message to you, as you can see through like the catalog of podcasts I have, like, you know, the etiquette of how I talk has improved fast, where we don't rush through the talking. And I think sometimes when you rush to the talking and the rush to the anxiety of like talking in front of people, where that's where you start doing the or you start doing the weird clicks. You know what I'm talking about? Where you say certain words over and over and over, and it's just like, okay, and that's where like I worried about myself in these podcasts. Like shit, that's why I do the editing, because you know why? It seems like I sound like an idiot. Who is going to listen to me? And that's where I the overthinking part happens. We're just like, okay, we gotta do this. But now it's just like, fuck it. Why worry so much? So I think for these, what I want to approach this is the message is important, not just the editing and making sure getting to the best version of it. Eventually, when we start this again, we'll worry about what the edit is going to be. But for now, I think this is perfectly fine. We're just me, right? With just me doing this every day, not every day. We're going to do this by at least, let's goal it to do once a week. We can start for 1 hour and see how far we go. But I think at the end of the day, what's important is the message. What's important is the consistency. And this is like where, if you know me very well, I am consistent. I think even if you get to know me as a friend, I'm very consistent. I do the same stuff. I will say good morning, good night to you, regardless if you respond or you say back. But I'll do the same thing, and that's tall being consistent. That's being genuine. In my mind, okay. To each his own. What other people believe, people may think that's kind of crazy, and this is where, like, I've dealt with shit where just like people get the wrong intentions of what I'm trying to do because I'm so nice, and it's unfortunate because like the world that we're in is just like it makes people like me sound like I have a fucking agenda when I don't. Like that's unfortunate shit, and this is why I want to explain that. It's just like, as genuine I can be, and I want to be an open individual who wants to have a casual conversation. And then obviously I'm talking about, like, if I'm talking to a female, I want to have a casual conversation just to get to know who you are. And then I'm doing that, and then here goes AB. We're having AB conversation. Then C comes in, they overhear it, and then they're gonna get the other person who's talking, who I'm B, and the person's A. C talks to A, and says, "Oh, be careful. This person has an agenda. This is why they act this way." And there's like me being the individual who I am, where I'm just being consistent, genuine, authentic individual who just really cares. Sometimes I friend hard. I admit that. Friend hard to the point that people get scared to shit and don't know what to do else. That's me. But I do appreciate the individuals who actually can take it and they understand it. Like, okay, this guy's legit. This guy's the way he is. He's just a very nice individual. And that's where, like, people always think like, oh, I'm doing this for a fucking reason. And let's be honest. Okay, we're fucking adults, right? We're adults. Adult shit happens. You know what I'm talking when I say adult shit happens. So granted, I can't control, if you meet a friend and something happens where you're doing adult furniture moving. It's adults. Like, shit will happen. So at the end of the day, like, if you think opposite, then that's you. Maybe that's your belief. Maybe that's your set. Maybe you're gonna wait till you actually marry someone on your wedding day. Then that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. But like, as adults, it naturally happens. If it's a situation where it's like, it gets to a point where, like, okay, you are almost to a point where it's just like, okay, let's do it. It's gonna happen. So going back, given that circumstance where it's just like, okay, well, adult things can happen, like, it's still the same thing as me. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, again, we're talking about this again, the relationship. I'm not gonna waste my time with anybody because, like, I'm at the point at my age which is like, man, I just want to get straight to the point. I don't want to deal with bullshit. So that's where, like, where my stuff is at. So anyway, I don't want to keep on talking about the friendship because, like, we're gonna end up talking for almost like another 20 minutes because I only plan to do this for an hour. Another 20 minutes of just talking about relationships. But like, okay, what else have you been doing? Okay, besides realizing that, okay, I was burnt out. Even my older brother's like, "Are you burnt out? You seem like you're burnt out." Okay, maybe I was, and it was from the editing. Okay, fine. Congratulations, you figured me out. What have I been doing? So last time I think we talked, I was like started to work out, and man, we are still working out. I think we've lost a lot of weight, to the point where my shirts are getting looser. I think back in May, and one of the things with my workouts, if you can also, if you want to, sometimes I post it on If you follow me on TikTok, it's at Joe Lobo Presents. Same handle here on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, Joe Lobo Presents. I do post my workouts there. Also, too, I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook. I'm posting there as well. You can take a look at my workouts and see what I'm doing lately. But basically, I've inspired it to the point where, like, and this all started, I'll be honest, the spiritual sense. Shouts out to that individual. I'm not gonna say who she is, but shouts to that individual who woke me up. That she said, and she's a spiritualist, to say the least. And she said, you should worry about your health. And the reason why I did that is because the reason I acknowledged her is because of the fact of I know who she is. so I was like, all right, we'll be serious about this. And this is where, like, the journey I think we talked about last time we talked was May. This is where we started looking out for workouts, and then there's a workout gym that's down the street outside of my subdivision. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, this shit sucks. And it's funny because I talked to people who also work out there, and then they agree too. Just like, yeah, it kind of sucks. And there's no air conditioning, and it's hot, and there's a lot of mosquitoes that come in. So, like, shit. We went there, and then I didn't like it. And now we ended up finding another spot that, based on my interest of what I wanted to do, which basically was something that was similar to what I did before, which is HIIT. And then the new phenomenon, not this new phenomenon, but the new workout theory, where it's Hydrox. That I found something. I found a place that's another 5 to 10 minute drive, where they had exactly what I needed. Open layout, the basics, dumbbells, free weights, kettlebells, boxes, shit that you can do that's similar into Hydrox and HIIT. And then if you're not resourceful now with ChatGPT or AI, you should. Like, do I have a coach? No. What I did is put this all in ChatGPT, and I said, ChatGPT, here's my interest. HIIT, Hydrox. Here is the gym we're working out at. This is what I want to do. This is their equipment. Pull something together. And since then, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same suggestions from ChatGPT, and it's fucking amazing. So you should actually look into that. If you're like a person, individual that goes to the gym, I'll be honest, like, I hate to say it, like, you have a thumb up your ass and you're like, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. ChatGPT will probably help, or AI, or whatever you use. What is it? The Google version of the AI. I forgot the name of it. It's I forgot the name. It starts with a G. Or you use X version. Whatever happens, AI, right? I use ChatGPT. Like, it's amazing how much of a help they are to give you ideas. And I literally use ChatGPT every day. Like, even talking to an individual here in Bohol, where, like, I understand Bisaya or Cebuano, but can I speak it? More or less. And this person speaks 100% to me in Bisaya because I understand Bisaya. But shit, within the time, like, I can't just speak 100% English to her. So when I chat with this person, like, I use ChatGPT. The same thing with Moisa girl. Of all individuals, how I became a friend with her. She speaks predominantly Tagalog, and I know she fucking feels uncomfortable when I speak English. So what do? Make it easier for her. I use ChatGPT to speak Tagalog, and I moderate for her. And her chat is in Tagalog. So guess what I use? I use ChatGPT to to understand what people are saying in the chat, if it's bastos or not. And what bastos means is that they're talking some weird shit that you shouldn't be saying, that's inappropriate. Oh my gosh, she gets all that shit all the time. Just like, what the fuck? But anyway, like, stuff like that where just like, it's crazy the stuff that the things that you run into like that. So that's going back to, like, the workouts, right? Like, I've been still doing it, still working out. I'm fucking consistent now. What's important, the key, right? And let's be honest here. Like, if you want to see results, you have to do the full thing. It's not just working out. You have to eat too. So yeah, I eat the same shit every day, where it's literally the same shit every day, more or less. I limit the amount of carbs I take in. I don't eat that much sugar because of the fact that sugar can fuck you up. And you probably gain a lot of weight for sure. Yes. Do I have meds I have to take? Of course, because I'm 40 plus years old. I'm in the maintenance age. Hopefully I can get off the shit, which I'm leading towards that. But like, I mean, there's stuff that helps and whatnot, but I think most importantly is the work you put in, the work output you put in for, like, you know, to lose the weight. And we lost a lot of weight. And even the longevity of burpees, like, shit, as much as terrible burpees are, and I tell you, bar none, if you're looking for the best workout ever, 100%, you can ignore the fuck out of it. But like, if you really want the best workout, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 100% with you. Burpees. You don't need weights. You don't need a gym. Just do burpees. So why am I talking about burpees? When I was doing burpees, like in the beginning of this beginning of this journey of working out in April, I was only doing like 30 and I was struggling. And this is like the whole workout. I was struggling. And then my workouts usually back then was like an hour and a half. I was struggling to do it because, like, you know, obviously I was heavier. It was harder. How many months are we into this now? It's what, April, May, June, July, 3 months in. Because of my consistency and this is my personality and my mentality is just like that drive, that discipline, where it's like when I start doing stuff. And I remember someone said that to me recently, where just like, no, when I first started this journey, it was like, damn, when you get into something, you really get into something. And it's true. So like, you know, I'm super consistent, where just like I keep on going and I keep on going towards where I want to be, and I keep on pushing myself. So like, if you talk about the burpees now, like I can tell you, again, this is not consecutive. Well, consecutive, we can talk about where I can do consecutively, but like, I mean, total workout. Shit, my workouts are now almost going to 2.5 hours. And then, mind you, reason why it's 2.5 hours, because I fucking pace, because like, shit, man, like I'm in my 40s and I don't want to fucking hurt myself, especially in the Philippines. Like, most of the things, if you didn't know, like, medical expenses come out of your pocket. So, gotta be careful. So especially in the Philippines, where, you know, I do have insurance, but it's disaster insurance, if you know what I mean. My overall output has increased. So before we used to be like at 100, not 100, we used to be at 30 burpees barely. Now we can do a whole workout about 100. I think last thing I did was like 104 burpees. That's a lot of fucking burpees. And then, like, if I can give you a little bit of what the design of my workouts are, it's basically high jocks hit related. So it always starts up with a warm up. I have to fucking warm up. If you don't warm up and you just immediately go into it, congrats to you. But I worry about like pulling shit. I worry about stuff doesn't work well and you need to warm up. So we do a warm up, which is basically going to be like, okay, we do something cardio, which is like an easy row, 5 minutes. And then we go through various exercises. We do squats, we do stretches, we do things that are relative to the work, things we are going to do in working out. So that's another, just to do the warm up is like a good 20-30 minutes. And then after that, the first part of the workout is strength. So it's basically workouts. I can tell you right now, it's going to be workouts that deal with deadlifts. One of the most awesome, beautiful tools that this gym got that I'm working out is the trap bar. So now, instead of doing deadlifts with just the kettlebells, we're doing heavier deadlifts with a trap bar. So we've been doing, in the strength workouts, we've been doing deadlifts with the trap bar. And then, like, yeah, man, you realize how fucking strong you are. Like, I think I'm not using kilograms, everyone, because I'm in the Philippines. We use kilograms, not pounds. It's 100, the heaviest I've done so far is 123 kilograms. Plus the bar, which is, so the weights itself is 50 on each side, so it's a total of 100 pounds, and then the bar itself is 22 kilograms. So 100 kilograms plus 22 kilograms, 123 kilograms, more or less. That's about almost 280, 290 pounds, and we do repetitions with it. So before that, we go. I think right now we're at the cadence of 93 kilograms, and then 8x4, and then we do the 8x1, 123 kilograms. And then after that, we do shoulder presses of ground, utilizing what we have, right? We just have dumbbell, we have a floor, there's a small bench. I don't tell them about the bench because it's probably better to do it on the floor. So we do shoulder presses 10 reps of 5 of 45 pounds. Yes, they have dumbbells that have pounds on each side. So we're doing 45 pounds on the ground. And then the second half of that, the third workout of the strength workout is going to be bent over rows. So we're doing bent over rows at 40 pounds each. And the last one is leg exercise. I alternate a leg exercise. Sometimes it's, oh my God, I hate it. Bulgarian split squats, or right now we're in the cadence of doing goblet squats. So we're doing that. And then we get to the meat and potatoes of stuff, which is the engine. This is the hard shit where it's like, okay, now we involve the sled that they have. So sled on itself has, I think it's 60 pounds of weights. And then the actual sled itself is 20 kilograms. So 20 kilograms plus, I think 60 pounds. 60 kilograms plus the bars. So it's like that amount we're doing. And the goal of that one is 12 meters of pushing it. And then we pull back. So there's a push-pull of the sled. And the pulls are standing pulls. Oh my God, that's so fucking difficult. And then after that, we finish the push-pull of 12 meters. So 12 meters forward, 12 meters back. We do burpees. 5 rounds of burpees. So how I think we have increased our burpee capacity is by doing burpees every time we work out. Regardless of what the fucking workout is, there's fucking burpees. So like I made it to a point to make it difficult where it's just like, okay, let's add burpees. Even if we're tired as shit at the end of the workout and we have a finisher, we do burpees. That's where how hard I push myself to just like, okay, let's progress. So like now I look at the next workout for tomorrow. It's going to be 5 rounds of 15 burpees each. Now, not going to say if I can do 15 straight, but however, it's still important that you get a total of 15. So if I have to break it up and do 8 by 7, I'm going to do 8 by 7. That's still more than like not doing burpees. So we do 5 rounds of that, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 5 rounds. So that is about 70 plus. I can't do math right now, but that's 70 plus. And after that, of course, we pace through all this whole workout, given, again, what I mentioned, I'm 40 plus. I don't want to get hurt. So we do that again, take a break a little bit, like a minute or so. And then we do a minute walk just to cool down our jets. Then we have the kettlebell swings we implemented. So we have kettlebell swings. We do 20 kilograms, 15 reps. We do it 5 times. So I think that's 75 reps of 5 rounds. And to finish the workout, we're using that same trap bar, the same maximum weights we did for the trap bar deadlifts to do trap bar farmer carries. So we do 12 meters. Depending how our legs are, and because of the fact that, man, like going back and forth 5 times, the trap bar is going to be in the far end and not close where the weights are. So I do additional to come back. So that we do 6, so that I don't have to walk all the way down there to push it back, to put back the weight. So we do that. And then the last part of that is the finisher, where now it's a little bit different. We used to do 25 meter push with minimum weights on the sled, and then 25 meter pull. We do a total of 100 meters. I think we took that out for now, but you replace it with something else. But the previous workout was that we do the 2 times of 25 forward, 25 back, and then I did something where it was called burpees till I collapse, which is basically like reps of burpees until you literally can't do burpees anymore. So we're doing, I think the most we ever did is like 30. But I feel like there's still a lot of gas in myself where I can still do more, but it's just like, okay, well, you get to a point where another thing too as well is like, fuck, we're almost at 3 hours of working out, that maybe we should slow the fuck down and just save it for another day. So that's another thing we took into consideration. So from that position, we changed it now because there's the person I started watching lately, if you don't know who he is, and Totally Fit, where he's that guy. He's super strong, but he dresses himself as a janitor and he has a mop. But what people don't realize, that mop is 32 kilograms and it's called Samantha. So we started doing a workout that's relative to it. It's called suitcase carries, where with the weights they have, we're using a kettlebell, holding one arm, but staying consistent, holding your core in and going 12 meters. 12 meters left, 12 meters with your right hand, 12 meters with your left hand, and then you do burpees. So we're doing a set of 10 burpees. So we do 3 sets of that, and that's 30 burpees right there. So at the end of this workout, we're almost at 2.5 hours of that. And that's a lot of energy we put into it. Like I think the last workout was like 2,400 calories burnt. Mind you, with this workout, and some of you are aware of this, where I fast. I can't do that. I can't do a faster workout with this because just like I hit a wall already. Where it's just like, oh my goodness, like your body just really rejects itself. It's like, stop. I'm gonna have you force you to stop. So that's where, like, we always carb up when we do this hard workouts, because of the fact of, like, the amount of energy you need just to perform it. And I want to be at least optimum in the sense where it's just like, okay, we have enough energy to do all this stuff. So that's why I do the things I do. I eat lunch. No, I eat after my fast, and then I'll eat a little bit more over the place I work out. So the good thing about this place I work out, it has a kitchen. So I order some food just to carb up, and then we do our workout, and then we finish maybe dinner over there, so that we can have something. And then, like, the cutoff for my fasting is about the same time I end working out. So that's what I do. So we've been doing that a lot, and my fitness has tremendously increased. And we're just the beginning of this. And then just like, I'm happy. We're just like, this is part of my life. Like, I'll be honest, like, it's either I work out or I'm doing this. I work out or doing this. And it's funny too, because I met some person that's similar to me, doing the same thing. They work out or do their day job. They work out, do their day job. And that's amazing when you meet people like that who are similar. But yeah, so like, that's what has been occupying me as well, is my working out and all this stuff. And then, like, also to life events as well, like, just like trying to find, like, and this is like the typical stereotype here in the Philippines. Like, oh, you must have came to the Philippines, you have a lot of this and that. You know what I mean? A lot of this and that. You're living like a dream and this and that. But no, you have to build something here as well. And that's the challenge that I have. Like, my brother's kind of leading the way, but there's eventually going to come a point in time to I have to do the same thing as well, which we're already painting the picture what's going to happen in the future of, like, what we have to take a responsibility of. And that's looming as well. So life is going to get a little bit more busier when we get to ways where maybe we may have to not do so often, or be more aware of certain things and certain events while we're doing this as well. So, like, that has been on my mind. Obviously, like, I'm a human, right? Like, I'm a human. I go through my human stuff. I go through all the struggles like everyone else. But what's great for me is this, where I know that I can always rely on the stuff that has kept me consistent for at least 15 plus years. It's meditation. I don't know, and I mentioned this to you all, like, I don't know where I would be without meditation. Like, I've already had situations, as in panic attacks, where, like, meditation's the solve. So, like, I'm still meditating. I'm actually meditating twice a day now. And then, just given some circumstances, you're just like, yes, and the incorporation of holding my gems. So if you're ever curious, I can just share it with you right now. This is a bowl of my gems without moving my camera, as you can see. So every gem that's in here has a specific purpose of what they do. And I believe it. To each his own, what you believe in, right? But I believe there's certain things and properties with certain gems that works for me. Some people might think, man, it's horseshit that you're believing in. Well, to each his own, that's you. But it helps me. So I go through all the phases daily, like even like morning, night. Like I wake up in the morning, I meditate. Actually, if you go on TikTok, I actually do these live on TikTok. So if you want to join me, I think my meditations are now like an hour in the morning. We do two different meditations. We do a guided meditation, and then we end it with Tibetan singing bowls. And then we do one at night. It's kind of like a reflection meditation where we don't really use guided meditation. We're like just chilling outside, doing the same concept, but like I actually get into myself. I'm trying to get into my spiritual side of myself and start saying the things that I intend to work on. So I do that every day. We're just like, keep it consistent. And I don't know where I would be if I didn't meditate. I'll probably be a wreck. And it's funny because I met someone who was similar as me. It's just like, yeah, if I didn't have meditation, I didn't have this, I'll probably be in jail right now. Shit. So this is where like, I have these things to help me out. And like, with the gems that I have, the crystals I have, I feel like it's just an added on thing. Just like this. Black tourmaline that I showed you earlier. This is a protection crystal or rock that keeps me grounded, but also absorbs the negative shit that comes to me. I have one at my door as well that protects me. I have to cleanse it once a week to make sure it's clean. If you know what I mean. If you know what cleansing is, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go through the definition of what cleansing is. But yeah, I've incorporated it into my spiritual self because there's certain things I want to enhance on my spiritual self that I incorporate crystals. And it's amazing with the same people I met from Weesaw Girl, like other people around her who believe in this stuff, and they telling me this is the properties of it. Yeah, and I fully believe what this person telling me because like I see the examples of what they have, like, not say too much, but they have the same properties when it comes to watching our friend go live. You know what I mean? I'll explain more about that, and maybe we should talk about my experiences of that. If you didn't know, I'll talk about. We're gonna talk longer if we do this, but like, I do have a sensitivity to ghosts or spirits. We can have a story about that next time, but I mean, it attributes to that, and this is why I think where I have an affinity to Weesaw Girls because of that. My experiences, my spirituality, and all that stuff. And that ties into everyone else who's around her, same experiences, and learning from these people, like, oh, you believe in this, you do this, that. Oh, actually, you're telling me, and I sense we all believe in the same stuff as an energy and what have properties and this and that, and it makes sense. Adding crystals to me made a lot of sense, so I did it. So that's one thing I added. I did that as well. Getting a big interest in crystals. I started working out, and then just like, that's what I've been doing, and then dealing with life. Like, as much as I love living in the Philippines, yes, life can be challenging as fuck. So as you all know, when you get to a situation you're uncomfortable and you don't know what to expect the next day, it can get worrisome. And that's the stuff I deal with every day. We're just like, okay, well, in my mind, I know it's going to be fine. What it tells me at the end of the day, we're going to be perfectly fine. But just to go through it and see what you see and just like what you have as a cause and effect of stuff that you do, it does get scary. But I just am resilient enough where I just keep on going. Just continue to be resilient enough where just like, you just know it's going to be okay. Because if you keep on worrying about like, it's going to be the worst ever, it's going to be this, that, you're just building this. And I've always been a firm believer, which is like, you keep on putting attention to it. As a law of attraction, you put so much attention to one thing, then shit, everything you deal with in reference to that belief and attention, it will be that. So that's why I don't put attention to certain things or things. And it's not a matter of me just sweeping on the rug, but just like, I rather focus on things that are important to me. Or maybe it's building a relationship with an individual. I focus on building a relationship and then like, going from that, while I still have my own priorities and my own belief set. And that's where I always have to say, agree to disagree. So that's what's keeping me busy. And I don't want to keep these long. Today, I don't want to keep this long. We can talk about going back to what we had done before. Again, it's not about me, it's about how I help you. But I wanted to make sure I go on here and just like tell people like, hey, this is where I've been. I'm still here. I know it's been 2 months and you're probably looking at my page. It's like, wow, where's this guy been? And people asking me like, when are you going to do podcasts again? When are you going to do this? And it's just like, okay, well, here's why. I'm a human. You get burnt out. And I think it's important when you realize like, okay, you go back to basics. Go back to how you started in the beginning. It doesn't have to be fucking perfect. Just put something out there. And that's where like, realizing for myself, like, okay, we'll just put something out there and we'll see. Once we get better at this, and meaning as getting better at this, well, maybe we're able to develop resources that can help make these real edits, then okay, we'll approach that. But for now though, right? For now though, let's do what we can. And it's funny because like I see like my older tries to help me. It's like, oh, follow this content creator. Oh, do this content creator. Oh, this content. Maybe you should do something about food. And I look at my content and it was like, bro, that's not my content. I'm not gonna mukbang and I'm talking about personal development. This is what it is. Be honest with you. What I do is personal development. At the end of the day, I'm helping individuals who have maybe had something similar to me find that there's an opportunity for you. So imagine all of a sudden I change that. I might as well just do another fucking channel, because if I'm going to start doing mukbangs and shit or do stuff that's out of the ordinary, like it's just, I think, and I also I worry about the analytics that's another thing. I worry about the analytics for YouTube, overthinking shit. But like, like if I start putting myself all over the place, then how's YouTube gonna know where to put me? And that's one of the things I deal with, where my stuff is randomly going this way and that way. But within time, everything will be worked out. So yeah, I don't want to keep this long. I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure I show my face. Some of the people might see me on TikTok, and I'm always there on TikTok. Well, it's right now we're in this mode of singing. I can probably I don't know, I'm not gonna bring it on here because this is podcasting, but if I make another channel, then we will probably do that and do all the other stuff we do, like the video game stuff. Because I have mentioned this before though, like, my goal from initially when I got my iMac was multi-stream. Still an idea. It's just the main platform I'm on are being assholes on it, where they won't give me what I need. So we're using their platform. They're using their stuff. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure I come back on here and let people know that I'm still live. I'm still doing this. This is why this is why I stopped. And I think it's important to me to remember just to get back to basics. Make it easy. Don't make it so fucking hard. Like at some point it's going to get, like I said, at some point it'll be easier that we can do all the shit that we want. We can do the great fucking edits that we do, adding all the stuff we think. But like at the end of the day, it's the message that we put across. It's always been about the message, not the content. Content as in like the add-ins. If you look at how much stuff we do, I think the most thing I'll probably will do is just change the thumbnail of this. But I think for the most part, let's go back to basics. So anyway, I didn't want to stay here too long. We're a little bit above what I wanted to stay, but I mean, again, it's an honor and pleasure to show and showcase me again. Yes, we're back. Yes, should make this more frequent. Yes, stop worrying about making this so fucking difficult. I know, I'm a human just like you. But yeah, it's an honor and pleasure. I want to show you and share with you where I've been and what I've been doing, what I've been starting to get interested in. When you saw my crystals and you saw this, then I'm still here. But we'll go back to the regular stuff, and who knows, maybe the trajectory changes that we just talk more about real life stuff. But I still want to have a message about self-help and personal development, but we still do it. Anyway, it's been an honor and pleasure to always talk to you all. Whether you're watching my live or make sure we're going to the right thing. You're watching my live or you're watching the replay of this. Again, you don't know who the hell I am. My name is Joe Lobo. This is Joe Lobo Presents. This is my podcast. You can find this podcast on Spotify. You can also find it on Apple Podcasts as well. My full catalog's there. I think we're at 50 plus. We do this live here on YouTube because two things. I'm using, copyright-free music, and two, the better reach I feel that's on YouTube. And even for the folks who speak Tagalog, oh, guess what? You can subtitle this after it's done in Tagalog. Anyway, it's an honor and pleasure to talk to you all. It's amazing to come back to this. I feel more confident this time doing this now. But again, you guys have a great night, afternoon, morning, whenever you read this. I'm still here. I think what we'll do is do these once a week. I think we'll probably do these Sunday, Monday. Don't put me at 2, but we're gonna do once a week. And then we'll start worrying less about the edits, and then figure out a plan or solution to how we put this back on other platforms. I might just put this one because I'm recording a version of this on my local. And just leave it as is. The only thing I probably will change is just, again, the thumbnail. Again, we will talk again soon. Hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful night. You guys take care, or morning, or when you watch this, or you're watching this your 5th time. You guys take care.